Hi guys, this is Juno and welcome back to another Summoners War video. Today we are on Rip's account, RIP, and he is a subscriber and also a member of my Discord channel. He was one of the few members that got in when I was offering free account improvements, and he requested this siege defense improvement a very long time ago. I'm very happy I could help him now because it's been a few months, like literally few months, since I said that I'll be helping the rest of the people that were on the list before I made it not free anymore. But yeah, so again, Rip wanted siege defense help. We're gonna take a quick look at his account. Wow, he has Guardian Wings, so I don't know why he's... Oh yeah, actually I saw him reach G1. He posted when he reached G1 in RTA, and I was very happy for him, and we could already see that he has a lot of OP units. So yeah, there isn't much for me to check right here. Let's just get right in. We're gonna try to create a few siege defenses, 2 or 3, maybe 4, depending on his box. And yeah, let's see if it works out. So let's get into the video. I'm gonna look at his defense right now and look at their locks. So he has some OG defenses that worked a long time ago. These work. They still work in G1. I think he is in G1. Let me look at his rank. Yeah, he's in G1 and low G1 as well, it looks like. So definitely we could say that these defenses work. I don't know if they're great though. This is a speed defense. I actually would love to change this maybe with a speed lead, and it'll be more viable. But let's see if that could work. So this one is a very common defense that still works, and it's being used a lot in G3 as well. It really depends on rune quality. So if you look at his Clara, it's way too slow. This is not gonna work. Has to be at least 200. So I definitely want to make some changes there as well. And he has the Martina Shina Triana, which is pretty tanky. So I don't think I'm gonna make any changes here because it looks like his Martina Shina and Triana is on a tank build. He did take off artifacts on this Triana, so Rip or Turkey, that's your name in the Discord. Please remember that this does not have a artifact, and that's pretty big. I really want to use the Clara in a good defense. Well, before we do that, let's look at the logs and see if anything is doing well. And I have no clue if they're doing well because there is no defense record. Oh, there you go, 922. It looks like the defense record reset. So this is 922, not doing that well. 1022, also not that well. 89, okay, so that's surprisingly doing okay. 3057. I won't say it's like a great record, but it's still got a lot of wins. Let's see how fast this Bastet is actually. We'll look at it after. This is 719, yeah. Not that great. This should be getting some wins. 5537, yeah, so I'm not gonna touch that because that's already doing really well. 1019, and finally 49. So it looks like other than the Martina Shina Triana and also the Bastet, Lauren, Zeratu, and this I forgot this Franz Gogo Vigor defense, everything is pretty mediocre on the record. So I think that's safe to say we could get rid of some of these. I really want to change this, so I'm going to take that out. I also want to get rid of this because this is really old defense. This is a really old defense. Probably doesn't work as well these days. Let's try to make one more Nat 5 defense and Nat 4 defense. And depending on the remaining units, we will make another either Nat 5 or Nat 4 defense. I really want to get rid of these two as well, and this one, because I don't know how that will work or how this works. We saw the record, it wasn't doing that great. But yeah. So now let's add something. Let's look at it. So I don't know why he's not using his Tian Lang, because I think using the Tian Lang that's there is awesome, because there are a lot of defenses in G3 with the LD Nat 5. And although you're using your Zeratu, I think using the Tian Lang is also a good option. If you have a Carcano that's laying around, because I see that you don't have a Carcano defense up, you could go for that. Yeah. So a Carcano, Tian Lane with the Savannah is also a very, very good defense. So we could go for something like this, and I think this will be pretty scary. Yeah, I think I'm gonna make this. Let's make this defense, okay? So we're gonna first start with these 3 units right here, and I don't know if I'm gonna change anything with the Tian Lane. Let's work on the Tian Lane last, or actually let's work on the Tian Lane. But I already like this build. We're just gonna see if we can make it faster, and if we can't, we'll just move on to the Carcano and the Savannah. And one thing is that I'm gonna try to make that Tian Lane on violent, because that's just much more annoying. So I am afraid to say that we are going to be taking off some runes. So I'm going to compare the 2 builds, Despair and Violent, and if there's not much of a speed difference, I'm gonna go with the Violent side. But if the Despair build is much faster than the Violent build, I'll probably go with the Despair build. So this is Tian Lane now. He's on Violent Will, and he's slightly faster. He's on 250 speed. One thing to note is that I am not going to touch the artifacts. I think that's just too much extra work, and I'm pretty sure the owner of the account has enough knowledge to put on the correct artifacts for these units, so I am not going to do that. But yeah, 250 on Violent Will seems a little slow. However, it looks like on Despair it was around the same range, so I just decided to go with Violent. Just brings in more RNG. It seems better to do. Now I'm just gonna make everything speed tuned to this 250 Tian Lane and make sure that it works. The next I'm gonna go with Savannah. So Tian Lane strips, Savannah goes for the defense break, AoE defense break with the pushback, and the Carcano moves last. It's not that easy to just simply cleave this kind of team unless you come in with like a Gemini cleave. But anyways, let's go on to Savannah, also on Violent and Will. Okay, so this is Savannah now on Violent Will. Probably not much of a change because her speed I think got only a little faster than before. I don't even remember what her speed was, but she has a lot of attack. She's pretty tanky on defense side, and there's a lot of improvements with the grinds. So you see there, we could grind your attack, HP speed, HP, and that's about it. But still, that's a lot of HP and more additional speed. I think with the speed tuner, she actually has to be around 244 speed to go right after the Tian Lane, but she's missing that 3 speed. So if Turkey does get a good grind here, then that's definitely the improvement that he will need for Savannah to move right next. Finally, let's go with the Carcano. Carcano in G1 or even above, I think the correct way is to go speed HP. So I'm going to try that because that's how my Carcano is built, and my CC defenses are doing really well, especially this season. My Carcano Iris Triana has like a 37-14 win rate, and my Martina, I wish I had a Martina. My Shina, Clara, Zenobia has like a 34-17, something like that, something similar. I will try to put up a screenshot here later. If not, oh well. You guys can find it in my past videos. The thing is, the Carcano doesn't have to be really, really fast. It just has to be over 200 speed, and especially if the Savannah does get the pushback, you could have like no speed and it'll still move. But we'll still give it around like 200 speed because these are run by AI. They could derp, and you still want your Carcano to take a turn. Okay, so this is Carcano, and I did make some changes on this artifact because I wanted to get more damage out of him. So I know some of you guys might think that these stats are weird, but to be real, Carcano still does a lot of damage with these stats due to the fact he has this skill right here, right? It increases the damage dealing to an enemy by 200%. Just because of that, you don't really have to make him a one-shot cannon. He could be a tanky unit who actually does a lot of damage. So the artifacts that I changed was this one and this one. This one looks pretty mediocre, but I did want the single target skill crit damage plus the crit damage up to 10% as the enemy's HP is good. And also here I wanted the crit damage up to 21% as the enemy's condition is bad, and skill 1 crit damage was 9%. The skill 1 accuracy is kind of, you know, lost here, and it would have been great if it was a skill 3 accuracy, but it was not that. Sucks for us. Accuracy seems a little low, but we're getting multiple defense breaks from the Tian Lane, Savannah, and the Carcano, so let's just hope that at least one of them does land a defense break so that they could finish off a unit. So we are done with this defense. The one downside, again, is that this Tian Lane isn't that fast. If Turkey or Rip had a violent set that was around the plus 170 range, this would have been a much scarier defense. However, apparently that's not the case, so this is what we have to work with. Maybe, I'm thinking right now, maybe we should just kill down the HP a little and just go for full speed, because I think if we do kill the HP a little, it could be like 10 speed faster. Let me just check. So this 25, 21, so 4 speed faster there. Okay, let's just take that just to get a perspective on how fast we can make this Tian lane if we just go for speed. So yeah, so just by having, well, yeah, that one is already pretty good. We don't want to really change that. This 19 is really, really mediocre. So if you could get an HP, okay, so his slot 6 runes aren't that great. But this could work, although we're losing a lot of accuracy, which Tian Ling really wants due to his skill 2 to get that strips done. So 24 speed on the will rune. So if we go with this, and if we go with a violent rune on the slot 2 that has a lot of HP that's currently not being used, yeah, like this one, we are losing a lot of accuracy. Maybe this one. Yeah, it looks like this one will be better. So something like this. So we're still losing 20% accuracy, which is a whole lot just for 10 speed. I don't know if that's worth. I think if we went with the Despair build, it would have been fine, because, you know, Despair stuns are not affected by the accuracy, but skill 3 does. But I think Violent is better, so we're just gonna leave it as is, and you know, Tian Ling has to be tanky. So let's hope that this works. That's the only downside, but everything else seems good. Everything else seems good, and I really hope that this defense works. Before we move on, I am going to actually try to perfect his one of his better defenses that were kind of de-runed due to the fact that we took off the runes for the Carcanos, Savannah, Tian Lane, and that is the Martina, Shina, Triana. And like I said, we did take off some runes, and I really think that we should put those runes back, because this defense was doing great. So not back, but we're gonna find some runes that could actually work for this defense. So Martina is fine. We barely touched Martina. I mean, we didn't touch Martina, and she still has her runes, but Shina got stripped. So we just need to find some runes for Shina, and I'm gonna write down here on my swap tool to make sure that I am not taking my runes off the Martina and the Triana that is currently runed. And then we're gonna work on the Shina, the one unit that is currently de-runed. Sorry for the other defenses. You'll see like John is de-runed. Yeah. Theo probably nope. Like I said, some of these units are gonna be de-runed. I think you should just get rid of all of these and just work on the ones that are currently ruined for sure, and then, you know, start stacking them back as you get to work on the account. But let's bring out that Shina and see what kind of build that we could give to her. Okay, so this is Shina. We actually made it faster. I just went with the original build that he had. He had his Shina going first, and then his Martina. So I just went with that same flow. So his Shina is on 250 speed. Almost everything is the same, but I think her attack is now slightly higher than it was before. We also gave it a little more crit rate. So overall, I think it's better. We just had to take off some runes from other units. I hope he's okay with that, because he said that it's okay. So his Martina, Shina, Triana should be working as it did before. Okay, let's take his Zeratu. And let's re-rune him, because it's currently on Vampire. I don't like that. I want it to be on Violent. So let's go to Carcano, Clara, Zeratu and see how it works. I hope it works better than the current defense that he's using. It actually got a lot of wins, 30-57 if you remember correctly. But I'm sorry, we are going to take that out. So we're not going to use this. And we're not going to use this. We're going to modify this. We're going to go like this. This is it. I think this defense is going to be more scarier than the other defense that he had up. So we already perfected these two. I didn't change much here, but I made the Shina back how it was before. I made this defense, and I'm pretty sure this defense will work. And then now we'll finally finish it off with this defense right here. Now, let's just make that Clara super duper fast, because right now it's super duper slow. Okay, so this is the Clara on 302 speed. She's on Swift Broken. And yeah, the one downside is that we have to use this Violent rune that has 30 speed. That's a good rune. I really don't like using those really fast Violent runes on a fast unit. but we have to do what we have to do. Also, I noticed that a lot of his artifacts are not powered up, including the runes that are on, or the artifacts that are on the Martina Shinatrana, and I was surprised. So Turkey, please, if you want the best out of your units, then power those up, because that you think that's small, but it actually adds up. So please power up, fully max out your artifacts if you think that it is good enough. And okay, so we're done with Clara. Nothing special. She's fully scaled up, so that's good to see. And she's gonna move first. Finally, I'm gonna go with the Carcano and then the Zeratu. This Carcano will be a little faster than the other Carcano because he is actually moving second and not last. And also, there is no unit like the Savannah that pushes all the attack bar to 0. So he actually needs to be fast to somewhat get a turn or get a opportunity to move next turn. So I'm gonna also put this on Violent Will. I am debating if I should put this on a crit damage build or a HP build, so let's see what we could do there. Okay, so I created the other Carcano, and he's similar to the last one, but a little less tankier due to the fact that he had to be much faster, or at least 20 speed faster it looks like. So this one's on 240 speed, and you can see that I tried to give it some defense, some attack, and I tried to get 30k HP. However, I wasn't able to get that, but there are room for improvement. There is room for improvement for these runes. Obviously, there are these grinds that he could grind if he wants to. Same with this one. He could gem this out for HP and grind it all out. Grind the attack. I am skeptical about this accuracy grind. I will go for a defense percentage grind, but his accuracy will get lower. I did give him a good artifact here that gives him, well, not a good one. I thought it was the other one. Never mind, because I was going to give him this artifact here that gives him skill 3 accuracy for 16%. But obviously, if I do that, he'll have to probably gem one of these out for a different stat because all the other stats are kind of crap. But anyways, this Carcano is done, and now let's move on to Zeratu, who is right now will move after the Carcano, but I don't like the fact that it's on a vampire set. I really want it to be on a violent set, but I don't know. Should I leave it on a vampire set? The speed wise is good too. There isn't much for me to change. It's a little slower. I want it to be slightly faster on the 230 side actually. So let's try it on violent, and if we can't get a good one on violent, we'll go to the vampire set and just put it on the vampire set. But at least right now, it's a little slow. I want 10 more speed. So this is the new Zeratu on Violent Will. And yes, I did get the 10 more speeds. He's at 231 speed now. Overall stats are pretty much the same. 90% crit rate, 130 crit damage, but he's just on Violent. He is missing like 200 or 100 something attack, but I think that's fine. The Violent rune makes up for that. And he also has no lifesteal. There is room for improvement again on this unit. This one is a pretty lackluster rune. You could take out the resistance for HP percentage or a crit damage stat. You could grind this HP and you could also take out this accuracy for again a crit rate rune or even a defense percent rune, which is probably what I will do. This one you could grind the HP. And this one I'll probably take out the resistance for a defense percent, HP percent, or a crit damage, but I'll go with the percentage first to make this unit more tankier. Again, these are not powered up. You should power up this one, although it looks pretty lackluster. I see why you didn't power this up to 15, but you have a lot of mana, and if you're going to use Zeratu as your siege defense unit, you definitely want to give it a plus 15 artifact. But that was it. So we are done with that other siege defense, and now let's look at the final 3. Because we are done with making the defenses. I am going to show you guys this because I did make the change to Shina. So this is Shina on Violent Will. Made some changes. Not that different from what he had before, but it does have a little more crit rate. It has a little more attack, and that's about it. The speed, it might be slower or around the same, 250-ish. So nothing to say there. But again, these artifacts need to be plus 15. This could be grinded like a lot. And yeah, so still room for improvement on this unit right here. Didn't touch the Martina, didn't touch the Triana, although Triana is missing an artifact, Turkey, so just another reminder that you need to put an artifact for her. This one, I am happy with this one. The Tian Ling going first on Violent Will, 250. Again, the only downside of this defense is that Tian Ling is a little slow. If you could get a Violent set with a lot of HP and some accuracy, but around 270, it would be awesome. But until then, you'll have to work with this Tian Ling. I still think he's a very good unit. Again, people just can't go for a cleave on this unless they use like a Gemini cleave, just because the Tian Ling counters all those attack bar boosters. Then the Savannah is going on another Violent Wolf set on 241 speed, so 250 and then 241. So a very high chance that Savannah will move next, especially if the Tian Ling gets strips done. So that's that. And finally, the Carcano on 220 speed on Violent Will, the tanky one. And yeah, this one is fully scaled up, and I think this will be working really well. Again, there is room for this Carcano as well, more speed, more HP, more attack, so on and so forth. And finally, the final one last defense I made. So it looks like I didn't make any Nat 4 defenses just because you have this Martina Shine Triana, and I think for you to make a more effective Nat 4 defense, you need either one more Triana or one more Shina to do so, because you do have the units, but they are not scaled up. But if you do get the skill ups and the units, you could be making more fast defenses that are more effective usually in Siege than a tanky defense, in my opinion. Finally, again, going back to what we were talking about, this is the last defense I made, is the Carcano, who's not moving first, the Clara that's moving first on 302 speed. We got a good amount of accuracy. We got also more accuracy from this artifact. These should be powered up. I didn't power them up. I know that you could power them up, so that's that. Room for improvement to make her more tankier, I think. Yeah, there are room for gems and grinds. And then finally, the Carcano, which is on 240 speed. This is the second Carcano. This is not scaled up, and this is primarily the fact because Carcano isn't the main damage dealer. People think that he's gonna be a threat, and he still is a threat. He still does a lot of damage, but it's a little less effective because these skills are not fully scaled up. But if he does get the defense break, and if he does put in some damage, the Zeratu at the end will definitely finish that unit off. And if he gets some lucky procs, he could be making more units go to heaven. But anyways, that was it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. These defenses are probably not going to work anymore. If you look at this Vigor, it's all destroyed. If you look at the Friend, it's all destroyed. If you look at the Skogul, it's fine. If this was a violent Skogul, I think it would be more effective. Also, the John is destroyed. The Theo is destroyed probably by now. Yes. The Ladro is okay. This one I didn't even care about. I think you should just get rid of this. I'm gonna remove it right now because I'm pretty sure you could find a better defense than that. But I think 1, 2, 3, these defenses should be doing well. I think you should tell your guilds to put them up and see how it works and see how they do, and let me know. But yeah, guys, that was it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If there's anything else you guys would like to see in Summoners War, please put a comment below, or please join my Discord channel and send me a direct DM if you guys would like service like this. All the quotes are there. There's a separate channel so you can see what I'm quoting. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you guys did, please smash that like button, and also if you haven't already, please consider subscribing because that really helps. Anyways, see you guys next time. Bye.